Testing, testing, testing. One, two, three. Right, so you played some music, didn't you?
Yes, I played.
So
And I'll come back to the break. You need to check again.
we've got to be a bit careful because we get a bit of feedback. Let's just see how it goes. So there's.
No, go and sit in the corridor.
evening all. And good evening to everyone who's online.
O Blessed One, Shakyamuni Buddha, precious treasury of compassion, bestower of supreme inner peace, you who love all beings without exception, are the source of happiness and goodness, and you guide us to the liberating path. Your body is a wish-fulfilling jewel. Your speech is supreme purifying nectar, and your mind is refuge for all living beings. With folded hands I turn to you, supreme unchanging friend. I request from the depths of my heart, please give me the light of your wisdom to dispel the darkness of my mind, and to heal my mental continuum. Please nourish me with your goodness, that I in turn may nourish all beings with an unceasing banquet of delight. Through your compassionate intention, your blessings and virtuous deeds, and my strong wish to rely upon you. May all suffering quickly cease, and all happiness and joy be fulfilled, and may holy Dhamma flourish forevermore. May the whole ground become completely pure, as level as the palm of a hand, and as smooth as lapis lazuli. May all of space be filled with offerings from gods and men, both set out and imagined, like offerings of the All-Good One. In the space in front, on a lion throne, on a cushion of lotus, sun and moon, sits Buddha Shakyamuni, the essence of all my kind teachers, surrounded by the assembly of direct and indirect gurus, Yidams, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, heroes, solitary conquerors, heroes, dakinis, and Dharma protectors. I and all my kind mothers, fearing samsara's torments, turn to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, the only sources of refuge. From now until enlightenment, to the three jewels we go for refuge. I and all sentient beings, until we achieve enlightenment, go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I and all sentient beings, until we achieve enlightenment, go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I and all sentient beings, until we achieve enlightenment, go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I and all sentient beings, until we achieve enlightenment, go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I and all sentient beings, until we achieve enlightenment, go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I and all sentient beings, until we achieve enlightenment, go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I and all sentient beings, until we achieve enlightenment, go for refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. Through the virtues I collect by giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha for the benefit of all. Through the virtues I collect by giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha for the benefit of all. Through the virtues I collect by giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha for the benefit of all. From the hearts of all refuge objects, light and nectar stream down and dissolve into myself and all living beings, purifying negative karma and obstructions, increasing our lives, our virtues, and Dharma realization. May everyone be happy. May everyone be free from misery. May no one ever be separated from their happiness. May everyone have equanimity, free from hatred and attachment. You, protector of all beings, great destroyer of hosts of demons, please, O Blessed One, Lord of all, come to this place with your retinue. With my body, speech, and mind, humbly I prostrate, and make offerings both set out and imagined. I confess my wrong deeds from all time, and rejoice in the virtues of all. Please stay until samsara ceases, and turn the wheel of Dharma for us. I dedicate all virtues to great enlightenment. The ground sprinkled with perfume and spread with flowers, the great mountain for land, sun, and moon, seen as a Buddha land and offered thus. May all beings enjoy such pure lands. I offer without any sense of loss the objects that give rise to my attachment, hatred, and confusion, my friends, enemies, and strangers, our bodies and enjoyments, Please accept these and bless me to be released directly from the three poisons. Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami. So now, my most kind root Guru, please sit on the lotus and moon on my crown, and grant me out of your great kindness your body, speech, and mind's attainments. I make request to you, Buddha Shakyamuni, whose body comes from countless virtues, whose speech fulfills the hopes of mortals, whose mind sees clearly all existence. I make request to you, Gurus of the lineage of extensive deeds, Venerable Maitreya, noble Sangha Vasubandhu, and all the other precious teachers who have revealed the path of vastness. I make request to you, Gurus of the lineage of profound view, Venerable Manjushri Nagarjuna Chandrakirti, and all the other precious teachers who have revealed the most profound path. I make request to you, Gurus of the lineage of secret mantra, Conqueror Vajradhara, Tilopa, and Naropa, and all the other precious teachers who have revealed the path of Tantra. I make request to you, Gurus of the old Kadam lineage, the second Buddha Tisha Drum Tomba Geshe Potawa, and all the other precious teachers who have revealed the union of vast and profound paths. I make request to you, Gurus of the new Kadam lineage, Venerable Tsongkhapa Jampal Gyatso Kedrupje, and all the other precious teachers who have revealed the union of Sutra and Tantra. I make request to you, Venerable Khalsang Gyatso, protector of a vast ocean of living beings, unequal teacher of the paths to liberation and enlightenment, who accomplish and explain everything that was revealed by the fourth deliverer of this fortunate eon. I make request to you, my kind precious teacher, who care for those with uncontrolled minds, untamed by all the previous Buddhas, as if they were fortunate disciples. Please pour down your inspiring blessings upon myself and all my mothers, so that we may quickly stop all perverse minds from disrespect for our kind teacher, to the most subtle jewel appearance. Please pour down your inspiring blessings, so that we may quickly generate pure minds from respect for our kind teacher, to the supreme mind of union. Please pour down your inspiring blessings, to pacify all outer and inner obstructions. Please pour down your inspiring blessings upon myself and all my mothers, so that we may quickly stop all perverse minds from disrespect for our kind teacher, to the most subtle jewel appearance. Please pour down your inspiring blessings, so that we may quickly generate pure minds from respect for our kind teacher, to the supreme mind of union. Please pour down your inspiring blessings, to pacify all outer and inner obstructions. Please pour down your inspiring blessings upon myself and all my mothers, so that we may quickly stop all perverse minds from disrespect for our kind teacher, to the most subtle jewel appearance. Please pour down your inspiring blessings, so that we may quickly generate pure minds from respect for our kind teacher, to the supreme mind of union. Please pour down your inspiring blessings to pacify all outer and inner obstructions. From the hearts of all the holy beings, streams of light and nectar flow down, granting blessings and purifying. The path begins with strong reliance on my kind teacher, source of all good. Oh, bless me with this understanding to follow him with great devotion. This human life with all its freedoms extremely rare, with so much meaning. Oh, bless me with this understanding all day and night to seize its essence. My body like a water bubble decays and dies so very quickly. After death come results of karma, just like the shadow of a body. With this for knowledge and remembrance, bless me to be extremely cautious, always avoiding harmful actions and gathering abundant virtue. Samsara's pleasures are deceptive, give no contentment, only torment. So please bless me to strive sincerely to gain the bliss of perfect freedom. Oh, bless me so that from this pure thought come mindfulness and greatest caution, to keep as my essential practice the doctrine's root, the Pratimoksha. Just like myself, all my kind mothers are drowning in samsara's ocean. Oh, so that I may soon release them, bless me to train in bodhicitta. But I cannot become a Buddha by this alone, without three ethics. So bless me with the strength to practice the Bodhisattva's ordination, by pacifying my distractions and analyzing perfect meanings. Bless me to quickly gain the union of special insight and quiescence. When I become a pure container through common paths, bless me to enter the essence practice of good fortune, the supreme vehicle Vajrayana. The two attainments both depend on my sacred vows and my commitments. Bless me to understand this clearly and keep them at the cost of my life. By constant practice in 4 sessions, the way explained by holy teachers. Oh, bless me to gain both the stages which are the essence of the Tantras. May those who guide me on the good path and my companions all have long lives. Bless me to pacify completely all obstacles, outer and inner. May I always find perfect teachers and take delight in holy Dharma. Accomplish all grounds and paths swiftly, and gain the state of Vajradhara.
And so we can meditate. To prepare for taking on the suffering of others in meditation. We can meditate on taking on our own future suffering. The sufferings of all our future lives are much more important than the sufferings of this life alone. Because future lives are countless, whereas this life is only one. So contemplate all the sufferings you have to experience in all your future lives as a human being, as an animal, as a hungry ghost, as a hell realm being. And then imagine that all of that suffering in every one of your future lives becomes manifest as black smoke. All the suffering in all your future lives transforms into black smoke. And all of this black smoke comes and gathers in front of you right now in a small cloud of thick, dense, black, disgusting smoke. And wish with compassion for all your future selves. You joyfully take all this black smoke into your heart. Imagine it just entering directly into your heart, where it destroys your own mind of self-grasping and self-cherishing, the cause of all your suffering. And at the same time, all of this black smoke is completely destroyed. And spontaneously you experience a mind of great joy when you contemplate how you've freed all your future lives from all kinds of suffering. So meditate single-pointedly on this great feeling of joy, as if your whole being is experiencing this joy. And with every breath you take, this feeling of joy becomes stronger and stronger. Until your whole being is the nature of joy. Just hold this joyful feeling for as long as you can. And then when your mind moves to some other object with mental excitement, or the object fades with mental sinking, you can repeat the contemplation again, imagining all your future suffering and joyfully taking it onto yourself, destroying your minds of self-grasping and self-cherishing, and experiencing joy once more. And so you can keep repeating this throughout the meditation session. try to really believe that you're taking on all your future suffering and destroying it by taking it into your heart. And from this strong belief comes this feeling of joy. Thank you. So now you can arise from meditation. So we can recite the root text with the intention to attain the ultimate supreme goal that surpasses even the wish-granting jewel. May I constantly cherish all living beings. Whenever I associate with others, may I view myself as the lowest of all, and with the purple intention, may I cherish others as supreme. Examining my mental continuum throughout all my actions, as soon as a delusion of self-cherishing develops, whereby I or others would act inappropriately, may I firmly face it and avert it. As if I had found a rare and precious treasure, one of someone that I have helped, and of whom I had great hopes, nevertheless harms me intentionally, may I take defeat upon myself. Harm me or insult me, may I take defeat upon myself and offer them the victory. In short, may I directly and indirectly work health and happiness to all my mothers, and secretly take upon myself all their harm and havoc. Furthermore, through all the above practices, together with a mind undefiled by the stains of conceptions of the eating streams, and that sees all phenomena as illusory, may I and all living beings be released from the bondage of mistaken appearance and conception. So the condensed meaning on page 269. Taking and giving has three parts. Taking by means of compassion, giving by means of love. Mounting taking and giving upon the breath. Taking by means of compassion has three parts. Taking on our own future suffering, the benefits of taking on other suffering, the actual meditation on taking. So, page 166, the benefits of taking on other suffering. The words in this verse of the root text, all my mothers, refer to all living beings. Through his omniscient wisdom, Buddha realized that there is not a single living being who has not been our mother in the past. And each of these mothers has shown us infinite kindness. Every time we have a mother, in every life we have a mother. And they look after us, teach us all kinds of stuff. Even when we were animals, we had animal mothers who cared for us, protected us from all kinds of dangers. fed us, taught us how to run and so on. Birds teach their children how to fly. And animals teach their cubs how to hunt so they can take care of themselves. In the same way, in this lifetime, our mother of this lifetime has taught us many things so we could take care of ourselves when we grow up, if that ever happens. So it's often difficult for us to think of, because sometimes we have real difficulties with our parents, often our mothers. And we just got to think, if it wasn't for my mother, I wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for my mother, I wouldn't be here. She script and saved just to give me to send me to a decent school so I could have an education. And again, she script and saved to send me to elocution lessons so I could speak properly. If she hadn't done that, I might be completely different, in a different place. Because we cannot recall our previous lives, and because the aspect of our mothers changes from life to life, we do not recognize them or remember their kindness. But this does not alter the fact that all living beings are in essence our kind mothers. If we regard all living beings in this way, it will be easy to develop pure love and compassion for them. This will prevent us from getting angry or jealous, and will encourage us to help them as much as we can. So, the reality is that everyone in this room, if you think about everyone in this room, at some time or other they have been your mother. And in essence, if our mother of this life passes away into our future life, we don't stop thinking of that person as our mother. We have different form, different qualities, different environment, but we don't stop thinking of them as our mother. And so all the mothers, in a sense, all the mothers we've had in the past are still our mother. It's feasible that we can think of every person as our mother, who has been infinitely kind to us. The fact that we're sitting here, studying how to become the best we can be, how to develop our own mind of love and compassion, is due to the kindness of our countless mothers. Our mother in the past, in a past life, taught us how, not to cause hurt and harm to other people, probably. And so as a result, we practice moral discipline. Because of our practice of moral discipline, we held ourselves back from causing harm to others. And so we created the cause to take rebirth as a human being, all due to the kindness of our mother. How would it be if we were just abandoned on the street, virtually as soon as we were born? We wouldn't have that kind of special training that we need to be able to survive, and to be able to live in a community, to live happily in a community. So, if we just check, even though very often we don't think we've had a great relationship with our mother, but if we just check, we can realize the kindness. Of course, our mother wasn't perfect. Of course, our mother had delusions as well. Every living being in samsara has delusions. So why should we expect that our own parents should be free of delusions and be perfect parents? And so often we think, well, if I'd had perfect parents, I could have been so much happier. And they're thinking the same thing. If we had perfect children, we could have been so much happier. There's nothing perfect in samsara. But still, we've received great kindness. So as I said earlier, in a sense, everyone in this room has been your mother and is your mother. So you can turn to the person next to you and say, "Hello, Mum." Go on, do it. It just fills you with joy, doesn't it? It's not just an amusement. There's a special feeling it generates by really thinking of some other person as your kind mother, the epitome of kindness. And so naturally we begin to want to repay that kindness by doing whatever we can to help them find happiness and help them find freedom from suffering. Because we cannot recall our previous lives, and because the aspect of our mothers changes from life to life, we do not recognize them or remember their kindness. But this does not alter the fact that all living beings are, in essence, our kind mothers. If we regard all living beings in this way, it will be easy to develop pure love and compassion for them. So it's not just human beings either, it's animals as well, and insects, and birds, and fish. Take a walk around a lake and see all your mothers sitting on the water. If we regard all living beings in this way, it will be easy to develop pure love and compassion for them. This will prevent us from getting angry or jealous and will encourage us to help them as much as we can. I mean, think what it would be like if you had this feeling, this joyful feeling with every person you ever meet, instead of just a kind of vague dullness as you walk through the street and walk through the park and so on, like all these ghosts appearing in front of you. You're not really seeing other people. They're just like ghosts. You're not interested in them. Was it just me then? See, just by trying to remember these things when we're out and about, it has so many benefits. Since this recognition is based on the wisdom of all the Buddhas and leads us in the direction of enlightenment, we should adopt it without hesitation. There is no point in dwelling on others' faults. It is of far greater benefit to focus on their kindness. Even though we may find it difficult to prove for ourselves the truth of the view that all living beings are our mothers, we would nevertheless be wise to accept it because there are enormous benefits in doing so. So, I mean, you just got to say, I'm meeting my mother. I'm seeing my mother in every situation. And then see what happens when that belief grows inside you. Buddha always says, don't do what I say just because it's me who's saying it. You have to check it out for yourself. So what he's saying is that there are many benefits from viewing other people as your mother, as viewing every person as your mother. And if you do this, your mind of love and compassion will grow in your heart. And it pushes out all the jealousy and the negativity and the darkness. So it would be wise to accept this because there are enormous benefits in doing so. We should understand that ultimately nothing is true. Ultimately nothing is true except emptiness. And so things exist conventionally, and so in a sense we're in control of how we view whatever appears in our life. Because if nothing is true, conventional truths are not real truths. Only emptiness is true, is an ultimate truth. All the other conventional truths are relative truths, relative to the mind that's experiencing them. So all we have to do is change the way we think, and we will change how we experience things. So this is one powerful way of doing it. If we can just remember it when we go about our daily business. I'm seeing my mother. This is my mother. Hello, Mum. And see what happens. You don't have to rush up to everyone and say, you're my mother. They might get a shock. You just have to think this. Conventional objects such as people, trees, atoms and planets have a relative degree of reality that distinguishes them from non-existence, such as square circles and unicorns. So square circles and unicorns can only appear to your mental awareness. They can't appear to your sense awarenesses. Can't appear to your eyes, your ears, your sense of smell or taste or touch. You can't touch a square circle, and you can't see a unicorn. Except on a Friday night. But only the ultimate nature or emptiness of phenomena is true, because it is only emptiness that exists in the way that it appears. Only emptiness exists exactly in the way in which it appears. Everything else appears differently from the way in which it exists. And that's our big problem. Things appear to us as inherently existent, but no phenomena is inherently existent. All we experience is emptiness appearing as form, or sound, emptiness appearing as sound, or emptiness appearing as smell, or emptiness appearing as taste, or emptiness appearing as touch. And yet we believe that when the things that appear to our consciousness are true, and they're not. Objects exist only in relation to the minds that cognize them. Since an object's nature and characteristics depend upon the mind that beholds it, we can change the objects we see by changing the way we see them. So if we realize there's actually nothing coming from the side of the object, and everything that's appearing to us is just the nature of our mind, we just change our mind and we change the nature of what appears. And so just by thinking, this is my mum, it becomes your mum. The person becomes your mum. If you have that conviction, this is my mother from a previous life, or my mother from another planet, then this is true for you, if you have that conviction. And what Buddha is saying, and what Geshe-la is saying, if we have those convictions, then it's so much easier for love and compassion to become manifest in our mind. And when that happens, we're getting closer and closer to becoming the best we can be, to becoming this great bodhisattva. Or don't you want to be a bodhisattva? I think there's some reluctance in this, because I think I'm going to have to change everything. But actually, no, you don't. You don't have to change anything, just your aspiration. Remember, I don't know if you read Universal Compassion. All we have to do is change our aspiration, and everything else will fall into place. We can choose to view ourselves, other people and our world in whatever way is most beneficial. By steadfastly maintaining a positive view, we gradually come to inhabit a positive world, and eventually a pure land. And because there's no object that is not an appearance to your mind. And so there's nothing coming from the side of the object. There's no objective reality. Everything is just the mere ripening of our karmic potentials that cause particular phenomena to appear to us. And so if we understand this, then what's that expression? We're the master of our own destiny. We are the captain of our ship. So we just change the way we view whatever appears in our life. And think, this is great, this is amazing. And it will be. There are 4 main benefits of the meditations on taking and giving. They are powerful methods. 1, to purify the potentials of non-virtuous actions that cause us to experience serious diseases such as cancer. 2, to accumulate a great collection of merit. So merit is like positive energy. And if we don't have any positive energy, we're not going to engage in spiritual practice. We need some merit or positive energy that drives us to become interested in spiritual progress. 3, to ripen our potential to be able to benefit all living beings. And 4, to purify our mind. When we purify our mind through the practices of taking and giving, every spiritual realization will grow easily in our mind. Through contemplating the 4 main benefits of meditating on taking and giving, we should encourage ourselves to practice these meditations sincerely. Sincerely and regularly. Daily, if you can. You go for a walk, you can practice mounting and taking and giving upon the breath. Sitting at work, you can do taking and giving. You're working with other people, you can do taking and giving with them, with your kind mothers. When we purify our mind through the practice of taking and giving, every spiritual realization will grow easily in our mind. Through contemplating the four main benefits of meditating on taking and giving, we should encourage ourselves to practice these meditations sincerely. Through meditating on taking the sufferings of all beings, our compassion becomes stronger and will eventually transform into the universal compassion of a Buddha. We will also develop a very strong mind that can bear adversity with courage. We begin to be able to transform difficult situations more easily into the spiritual path. And we bear adversity with courage, knowing that we can use any adversity to make our bodhisattva wishes more powerful. But also, because we're beginning to view ourselves as just like an instrument in bringing benefit to as many people as we can, as many people as we think about, as many as we meet, then we become less concerned about our own issues. Because we keep reminding ourselves, I'm doing this for the benefit of other people. So I can bear any difficulties, so I can continue to function to bring benefit to other people. So, in essence, it doesn't really matter about our own feelings. We come to the situation where other people's feelings are more important. Their feelings, their experiences are more important than ours. At present, our mind is like an open wound. At the slightest hint of hardship, we recoil in dismay. With such a weak mind, even minor difficulties interfere with our Dharma practice. By training and taking, however, we can strengthen our mind until it becomes unshakable. Then you'll like the next bit. The Kadampa Geshes used to pray to develop a mind that is as strong and stable as a blacksmith's anvil, which does not break however hard it is struck. So have you got a mind that's like a blacksmith's anvil? Like what? Well, you can make it a strong tomato. I think you'd be surprised how strong your mind actually is. Because you keep coming to class. Yeah? That takes courage. That takes commitment. We need a strong and stable mind, one that is undisturbed by any hardship that life throws at us. With such a mind, we are like a hero or heroine, and nothing can interfere with our progress towards enlightenment. Those with deep experience of the practice of taking can easily fulfill their own and others' wishes. Why is this? It is because they have so much merit, and because their wishes are always pure and motivated by compassion. They can even fulfill their wishes by means of prayer or simply by declaring the truth. During the time when Je Monlam Palwa was the throne holder of Je Tsongkhapa at Ganden Monastery, Ganden Monastery, it was the Je Tsongkhapa throne, and Je Monlam Palwa was the throne holder. There was a terrible flood which had already swamped the surrounding fields and destroyed many houses, and which were threatening the nearby town. When the local people asked Je Monlam Palwa to help them, he responded simply by writing on a piece of paper. And he wrote, "If it is true that I have bodhicitta, you must go immediately," and told the people to show this to the floodwaters. They followed his instructions, and the flood receded. So you can try this. If it is true that I am a bodhisattva, you write it on a piece of paper and go and solve whatever problem you have. A red Ferrari will appear. There are many stories of bodhisattvas performing miraculous feats through the power of their declaration of truth. These declarations are very powerful because they are motivated by bodhicitta, and bodhicitta derives its power from great compassion. Without great compassion, it's impossible to have a mind of bodhicitta. It's only when that mind of compassion grows in your heart that it naturally leads to this mind of bodhicitta. So Geshe-la is writing, "When I was a young monk in Jampaling Monastery in western Tibet, I was seriously ill for a few months. When the pain got so bad that I could hardly bear it, my teacher Geshe Palden came to see me. He had a blessed mala and would often tell us how special it was, but we used to think he was joking. However, on this occasion he stood by my bedside and said to me, 'If it is true that my mala is blessed by the wisdom Buddha Manjushri, may you soon be cured,' and then blessed me by touching my crown with the mala. After this I recovered completely." So you can use your mala to benefit other people by touching them on their crown, particularly someone who's towards the end of their life or reached the end of their life. If you touch your mala to their crown, then it helps them to have a fortunate rebirth. It's like the rosary that you use to count mantras. We should have a mala making workshop sometime. Can you do it? No. Sorry? I don't think that's going to happen. Yeah. What is it? They say you can't teach old dogs nutrition. Yeah, we can. We should buy a bunch and have them in the shop. Sorry? Someone in Liverpool. Maybe they can come and do a workshop. Who is that? Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, yeah. That'd be good. So, yeah. Geshe Paldon was the reincarnation of a practitioner called Lama Gelong, who had lived at a small monastery called Deshar Rito near Jampaling. Lama Gelong frequently engaged in Nyingyi fasting retreats and emphasized the practice of the Compassion Buddha Avalokiteshvara. He was able to cure people of certain diseases caused by Naga spirits that could not be cured by ordinary medicine. On his shrine he had a beautiful statue of Avalokiteshvara that kept increasing in size, which meant that he had to keep increasing the size of his shrine cabinet. This was an indication of his ever-increasing realizations, and it caused many people to develop strong faith in him. So, the actual meditation on taking. There are two ways of training and taking by means of compassion. The first is to focus on all living beings in general and imagine taking on their suffering. And the second is to focus on particular living beings and imagine taking on their sufferings. So particular living beings can be, groups of people who have particular illnesses, or groups of people who live in particular areas who are suffering particular problems, like people in Gaza, people in flooded areas, and so on. Or you can do it for individuals who are experiencing difficulty and problems. You can do it for yourself. When we're doing it for ourselves, we imagine that we're taking on the suffering of other people who have the same kind of problem and difficulty. And so from this mind of compassion, we're taking on everybody else. Let's say with cancer, we're taking on everybody else's cancer and destroying it with our own self-cherishing. In the process, we're destroying the mental causes of this physical suffering of cancer. There'd be many stories, even within our own tradition, of people who have gone into remission by practicing taking and giving on their cancer. I had a friend in Canada who, many years before she died, she was given a prognosis that she would only live for a few months. And so she did Medicine Buddha and taking and giving, and 10 years later she was still alive. We kept wondering, what are you doing? What are you taking? So if you have any friend who is experiencing cancer, you can teach them how to do taking and giving meditation. To practice the first method, we visualize ourselves surrounded by the assembly of all mother living beings without exception. So the way to visualize this is you imagine you're sitting in the middle of a vast flat plain, and you're surrounded by all other living beings, and they're all appearing in a human form. So even insects and animals, hungry spirits, hell realm beings, they're all there in human form. But closest to you are your parents, father on the right, mother on the left, parents of this life, even though they've passed on. And then surrounding you, closest to you, are your other relatives and close friends. Then beyond them are your other acquaintances. And then beyond them are all people that you've never met. You just know that they exist, but you've never met them. And so you're surrounded in every direction by this vast sea of humanity. And then you take on their suffering. You can visualize them all in human aspect, but we should remember that each of them is experiencing the suffering of their own particular realm. That's human realm, animal realm, hungry ghost realm, hell realm being. A rough mental image will suffice. Not necessary to picture them clearly. We then develop compassion for all these living beings by thinking about their suffering. Human beings experience the sufferings of birth, sickness, aging, and death. So these are the 4 rivers of suffering: birth, sickness, aging, and death, of poverty, hunger, and thirst, of meeting adverse conditions and not fulfilling their wishes, and of being separated from their loved ones, as well as countless other sorrows. So, the human condition. In addition, they suffer from great ignorance. Animals experience the same sufferings, only far worse. In addition, they suffer from great ignorance, exploitation by humans, and living in constant fear of being killed by other animals. Imagine if you were a farm animal. Let's say in some places you have to pull a plough behind you, spend your day pulling a plough behind you, or you're being fed up, so you're being fed on nice grass, so you can be taken off to be slaughtered and used for meat and so on. Not great. Humans have to carry, horses have to carry humans on their backs and so on, like the Grand National and things. Hungry spirits experience the sufferings of intense hunger and thirst, and they never seem to be able to satisfy this hunger and thirst. Any food that they eat causes them great pain and suffering. Sometimes it's like a fire goes off inside them when they eat something. And hell beings experience unimaginable sufferings of heat and cold. Demigods experience the sufferings of jealousy and conflict for long periods of time. Even the gods, who spend most of their lives enjoying the pleasures of samsara, are not free from suffering. Their enjoyments, environments, and bodies are contaminated and in the nature of suffering, and they experience great anguish at the time of death. And their death takes a long time. And they realize that they're dying. And they realize that because they just enjoy all the pleasures of samsara, they had no compassion while they were a god, so they had no incentive to do anything other than just consume and enjoy and live a life of hedonism. So they have no merit, no positive energy left, no merit that will secure their rebirth as a human being, so they become enlightened. And so they realize that as they're dying, their next rebirth is going to be in the lower realms. So you don't want to be a god or a demigod. You don't want to be a rock star or a movie star or have great wealth. Kind of, but even better than that. Could be, yeah. Kind of, kind of. Well, it depends what a god would be. Yeah, they're just chilled out and enjoying themselves all the time and having a wonderful, peaceful time. But um, because of the nature of their state, they don't generate any new merit. You know, they're just chilling out all the time. Sorry? Well, human realms are able to develop compassion because they have empathy and they experience both physical and mental suffering. And because they experience their own suffering, they can have empathy for other people's suffering and develop compassion. People in the God realms don't do that. Yeah, so the human realm is the very best realm to become enlightened. Mm. Yeah, I mean, they're just. In reality, there are as many realms as there are living beings. But Buddha is just categorizing them and putting them into categories to show the kind of situation that we would experience if we just became a demigod or a god, or a hungry spirit, or a hell realm being, or an animal. Yeah. Even the gods who spend most of their lives enjoying the pleasures of samsara, so they're all these different types of being are within samsara. Even the gods who spend most of their lives enjoying the pleasures of samsara are not free from suffering. Their enjoyments, environments, and bodies are contaminated and in the nature of suffering, and they experience great anguish at the time of death. Because they too are under the control of their delusions, they have no freedom from samsaric rebirth and have to experience samsara's sufferings endlessly, life after life. Focusing on all living beings of the six realms and contemplating their suffering, we think from the depths of our heart. In their countless future lives, these living beings will continually experience without choice the sufferings of humans, animals, hungry spirits, hell beings, demigods, and gods. How wonderful it would be if all these living beings who are permanently freed from the suffering and fears in this life and countless future lives. May they achieve this. I myself will work for them to achieve this. I must do this because they are my mothers. You stop there. Sorry? Just to remind you, tomorrow is St. George's Hall with again Dorning again, talking about anxiety. So you have to be there. We're taking the roll call. Sorry? Would you prepare from page 171 to 175, the end of the actual meditation? So page 171, it's from the first paragraph in plain text that begins, thinking in this way, we imagine that the sufferings, and to the end of that section, just before giving by means of love, page 175. And do we have a meditation for next week? Taking on the suffering of all living beings. Okay. Oh, and the practice in the meditation break?
Om Muni Muni Maha Munias.
Seeing everyone as your mother and wishing to take on their suffering. Well, you can try. The thing is, if you're thinking about other people's suffering, exactly.
Soha. Om Muni Muni Maha Munias Soha. Through the virtues I have collected, by practicing the stages of the path, may all living beings find the opportunity to practice in the same way. However many living beings there are, experiencing mental and physical suffering, may their suffering cease through the power of my merit, and may they find everlasting happiness and joy. May everyone experience the happiness of humans and gods, and quickly attain enlightenment, so that samsara is finally extinguished. For the benefit of all living beings as extensive as space, may I attain great wisdom like that of Manjushri, great compassion like that of Avalokiteshvara, great power like that of Vajrapani. The Buddha Dhamma is the supreme medicine that relieves all mental pain, so may this precious Dhamma jewel pervade all worlds throughout space. May there arise in the minds of all living beings great faith in Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and thus may they always receive the blessings of the three precious gems. May there never arise in this world the miseries of incurable disease, famine, or war, or the dangers of earthquakes, fires, floods, storms, and so forth. May all mother beings meet precious teachers who reveal the stages of the path to enlightenment, and through engaging in this path, may they quickly attain the ultimate peace of full enlightenment. Through the blessings of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, the truth of actions and their effects, and the power of my pure superior intention, may all my prayers be fulfilled. So that the tradition of Tsongkhapa, the king of the Dhamma, may flourish. May all obstacles be pacified, and may all favorable conditions abound. Through the two collections of myself and others, gathered throughout the three times, may the doctrine of Conqueror Losandrapa flourish forevermore. Tsongkhapa, crown ornament of the scholars of the Land of the Snows. You are Buddha Shakyamuni and Vajradhara, the source of all attainments. Avalokiteshvara, the treasury of unobservable compassion. Manjushri, the supreme stainless wisdom. And Vajrapani, the destroyer of the hordes of martyrs. O venerable Guru Buddha, synthesis of all three truths, with my body, speech, and mind, respectfully I make request. Please grant your blessings to ripen and liberate myself and others, and bestow the common and supreme attainments. Tsongkhapa, crown ornament of the scholars of the Land of the Snows. You are Buddha Shakyamuni and Vajradhara, the source of all attainments. Avalokiteshvara, the treasury of unobservable compassion. Manjushri, the supreme stainless wisdom. And Vajrapani, the destroyer of the hordes of martyrs. O venerable Guru Buddha, synthesis of all three truths, with my body, speech, and mind, respectfully I make request. Please grant your blessings to ripen and liberate myself and others, and bestow the common and supreme attainments. Tsongkhapa, crown ornament of the scholars of the Land of the Snows. You are Buddha Shakyamuni and Vajradhara, the source of all attainments. Avalokiteshvara, the treasury of unobservable compassion. supreme, stainless wisdom, and Vajrapani, the destroyer of the hosts of Maras. O venerable Guru Buddha, synthesis of all three truths, with my body, speech, and mind, respectfully I make request. Please grant your blessings to ripen and liberate myself and others, and bestow the common and supreme attainment.
Thank you, everyone.